Fundamentals 19. Step off your back foot and off your front foot. Go on YouTube and watch some pros hitting ground strokes and just look at their feet. Focus on the shots that don't require them to run for the ball. You see that most of the time they will set their back foot down, the foot farthest from the net, bend their knees slightly, and step toward the net with their front foot, the foot closest to the net. Most of their weight will be on their front foot when they make ball contact. This is what I mean by step off your back foot, hit off your front foot. So essentially, they're waiting for the ball to come. They'll take some sort of a step. They get the weight on their back foot and then bend their knees a little bit, and then when they stroke, they step off the back foot. So they're stepping off the back foot, and when they make ball contact, their weight is on their front foot. So step off the back foot, hit off the front foot. Same thing on the backhand. Ball's coming, step off the back foot, hit off the front foot. Now, I'm not talking about tipping over. I'm just lifting my foot to let you show you that most of my weight's on my front foot at contact. If you look carefully, this even happens when they run laterally for the ball. For forehands, two-handed backhands, they usually end up hitting from an open stance when they're moving laterally, whereas when they are hitting one-handed backhands, they usually end up hitting from a closed stance when they're moving laterally. So, forehands and two-handed backhands hitting from an open stance. So if they move laterally for a forehand, they usually hit open stance, open facing the net. Two-handed backhand, if they move in, same thing. Start here. Two-handed backhand, they move for a two-handed backhand, open, body facing the net. One-handed backhand, closed stance, body facing away from the net. If they don't have to move to the ball, and they have time to turn their body, which usually means the ball is coming over the net slowly, if a significant backswing will help them to add power to the ball, they use a neutral stance. But if they don't have time, they will typically use an open stance. If the ball is coming slowly, they'll typically have enough time to turn to a neutral stance and hit the ball. Same thing forehand side. If they have time, they'll get a neutral stance. That allows for a big backswing. So easy. If you've got a neutral stance, it's so easy to have a big backswing. Same thing on the back end. Neutral stance, easy to get a big backswing. Facing the net, and you don't have time, you don't need a big backswing. You may be just blocking the ball, just punching it. Same thing in backhand side, just punching it. So, watch the pros, see what they do. Focusing on just one thing at a time that the pro is doing is a very effective way to see how the pro does that one thing. You can look at whether the pro is focusing on the pattern, watching the ball, how early the pro gets the racket back, how the pro takes the racket back, how the pro stands in the ready position, how the pro finishes the follow-through, etc. By just looking at that one thing.